Three bets in three sports are on the way. We've got WNBA action. I've got an MLB winner for you. And then also we've got college football on this Friday. The slate, it is Friday the 13th. We need some good luck in our way. Let's get into it. This is the free three. What's up, guys? Your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day and just try to get to the bag together and make some money. Yesterday, full fade on the channel. Completely just Tua. You know, this is where gambling gets unpredictable because it's just like you would think somebody would make the smart play, right? Like you didn't even try to slide, bro. Like you just said, I'm gonna put not even shoulder down, just literally neck down, and that just blows up the entire slate of bets, right? I gave you James Cook over receiving yards. Was he going to get that? Maybe not, but he had one reception for 17 yards. Maybe if that Bills defense inside to make him look like a primetime Emmitt Smith, we would have been able to get over that. Or if, Tua didn't get hurt, maybe one or two touchdowns makes the Bills offense have to try a little bit harder. And then James Cook is again active in the pass game. We finished 1 yard short on that. The teaser. That would hurt real bad. Why? I mean, we took the Bills up to 8.5. We had a 31-10 score, literally in the third quarter. We had taken the total down from 49 to 42. We needed just a field goal. And the Dolphins don't want to kick field goals because they're down multiple possessions. I get it. I'm not mad at it. It's just frustrating when you have money on it. So that loses. Jaden Waddle receptions, 4 catches, 40 yards. Do we need maybe 2 more catches there? We would have been all right. Doesn't get that. And then the latter leg, obviously Tua doesn't finish the game, so we don't get his pass attempts there. So just an 0-4 day. Full fade, first humbling day of the NFL season. 8-10 record right now to start the NFL season. Not too happy about that, but we've got a long weekend ahead of us. So, stick with us, my friends. We're still over 500 for the month of September. And today we're going to run it back. 3 best bets, 3 sports, 3 winners. If you're not subscribed to the channel, do so. We've got some amazing content coming on the way for you guys. I'm actually going to be at the University of South Carolina this weekend, grabbing some content. We're going to be at the LSU South Carolina game. This is going to be in my pursuit of checking out every single SEC stadium. So that's going to be some YouTube content that's going to be coming on your way for you guys. So be on the lookout for that. But the goal is just to have a successful weekend in general. So make sure you guys are coming back tomorrow and we'll have a great weekend here on the channel. So let's get into these winners for today for this Friday, this 13th card. My first best bet of the day, let's go to the WNBA real quick because that's been doing well for us. I think we've hit our last 3 or 4 WNBA best bets in a row. So let's run it back today. We're going to go with the Atlanta Dream as they take on the Washington Mystics. We're going to take the -3.5 or live -110 odds. If this is at 4 on your books or higher, I would stay off of it because you're going to get the opportunity to take it live. Unless you're going to be busy doing stuff during the time the game kicks off. It's a 7:30 tip time, Eastern time. So you should be able to get this game live. Though we're getting a little bit of an overreaction here, okay, guys? Let's kind of explain to you guys what is going on right now in the WNBA, okay? The WNBA standings right now, the first 7 teams have already secured their seat. The 8th seed is up for grabs. That's the Chicago Sky right now. Atlanta Dream are right below them. Washington Mystics are right below them. So only 3 teams fighting for the last spot, okay? The Sky are 13-23 with the 8th seed. The Dream are 12-24, so 1 game behind. The Mystics are 12-24. 1 game behind. The Mystics have just now recently gotten into the playoff position because they've won 6 of their last 4 games. They've been very impressive. Meanwhile, the Chicago Sky, they're dealing with the injuries to Angel Reese. They've been 2-8 over their last 10 games. And then the Atlanta Dream 3-7 over their last 10 games. They've dropped their last 2 in a row. So things are getting real crazy here going down the stretch. But it's very simple. The Dream win today. The Mystics are eliminated. Pretty simple, right? And they also own the tiebreaker against the Mystics as well. So if we look at the remaining schedule for the Dream real quickly, they play the Mystics today at home. They travel to Washington on Sunday, and they play the Mystics again. Then they play the Sky, and then they play the Liberty, okay? So literally 3 of their last 4 games are against the teams that they are going to need to play against seeding-wise basically, long story short, the playoffs are in their hands. If they win the next 3 games, they're in because they basically beat. Meanwhile, the remaining schedule for the Sky, the Lynx, the Mercury, the Dream, that matchup I just mentioned, and then the Connecticut Sun, they could realistically lose all 4 of the games. So the Dream know that this is their chance to win it. This is their chance to get into the playoffs. They win, they in. They at home today, -3.5 against the Mystics. I'm not overthinking it. I'm not giving you a whole bunch of breakdown analysis as to why the Dream are going to win this game. They are the better team. They have the more experienced lineup right now. They should be able to get it done at home today. If you want all the numbers and stuff, listen, I just think we're getting value here because of how good the Mystics have been doing lately. But otherwise, if in other situation, this would be a -4.5, 5.5, 6.5 spread. It opened up at 1.5, so that's why I don't want to catch the falling knife past 3.5. But get this game live. The Dream are winning tonight. Take that as our first best bet of the day. Second best bet of the day, let's go to the MLB card real quick. It's an expensive play. I'm sorry that I'm going to lay you the amount of juice here, but I got to take it. Yankees versus Red Sox, oldest rivalry in baseball. I'm taking the Yankees on the money line, -145 odds. I know it's expensive. Clark Schmidt's on the mound for the Yankees. Tanner Houck's on the mound for the Red Sox. This is a fade on Tanner Houck. Right now, he's kind of been day-to-day on the injury list. His start actually got pushed back in the rotation because his shoulder has not all the way recovered from his last start against the Mets, where he only went 5 innings. He gave up 4 earned runs with 1 home run. Alex Cora, the manager of the Red Sox, said that it's precautionary measures. They think it's a little bit of dead shoulder, things like that. It's just that point in the season, right, where you've pitched hundreds of innings, and now you're just at that point now where you're just tired, right? Obviously, the Red Sox need these games as they're still fighting for a wild card spot, but there's a lot on the line for the Yankees as well. They're 2 games ahead of the Baltimore Orioles right now in the division. That's really because they've won their last 2 games in a row, but they can't take their foot off the gas because the Orioles are right there on their pressure with about 20 games left to go in the season. Clark Schmidt has been solid this year, 2.34 ERA. He's coming off against a starter against the Cubs, 4 2/3 innings, no earned runs given up to go with 4 hits. That's what you're looking for. I like the Yankees here simply because of how depleted that Red Sox bullpen is going to be, which is going to force Tanner Houck into this start longer than he needs to be. If you looked at the game last night, the game went 10 innings between these teams, but the Red Sox used a significant amount of pitchers because Criswell only went 5 1/3 innings. Total, out of the bullpen, they brought 6 bullpen arms, including their closer Jensen. Meanwhile, the Yankees only used 4 bullpen arms. I think that's going to play dividends today. Tanner Houck is going to be expected to stay in the innings 5, 6 innings, and that's not really unusual for him. He is a starter who can go deep in the game, but that also means when you get to that 5th, 6th, 7th inning, you can have one bad inning that blows up the entire game, and you know that there's a Yankees lineup that has the ability to do that. When you look at the Red Sox and Tanner Houck on the mound, they've only won 1 start out of the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Out of the last 10 starts, only 1 of them have the Red Sox won on the money line for Tanner Houck. So just that alone gives me the reason to give the Yankees here at home. I like them. Depleted bullpen, depleted starting pitcher coming off their bumped back start because they need to give him more time to rest. This is just a lot more of a situational game for the Yankees here with a lot still left to play for them. Give me the Yankees as our second pick of the day. Third and final best bet of the day, we're going to go to the college football matchup today between the UNLV Running Rebels and the Kansas Jayhawks. 2 offensive programs in the college football realm that can absolutely dial it up. We saw these 2 teams play in the guaranteed rate bowl last year. Final score 49-36 in favor of the Kansas Jayhawks, and I do think that we're going to get another high scoring affair today. So give me the over 57.5 -110. We're actually getting a little bit of value on this number considering that it opened around 60.5 and the total has actually been bet down, but I think that's a little bit of an overreaction considering the fact that the Kansas Jayhawks lost last week to the Illinois Fighting Illini 20-17. But if you know anything about about that Fighting Illini team. Historically, they're a team that likes to run the ball, that likes to use a lot of clock. And when you keep this Kansas Jayhawk offense off the field, that's probably the best thing that you can do, which also led to the upset win. Because of the fact that Kansas was upset last week, I think that's one of the reasons why we're getting the UNLV running Rebels at 7.5, 8.5 on certain books. I'm not necessarily willing to lay that because this is a Kansas offense that can easily win this game by 2 touchdowns. I do think that this is a game that both teams can score. And when you look at Barry Odom's offense on that side for UNLV, the coach of the year last year in the Mountain West, they retooled this year after losing their quarterback. They were able to get Matthew Sulka from Holy Cross in the transfer portal, and he's looked really good in the first 2 starts for UNLV. In their opening matchup against Houston on the road, they were able to upset the Cougars 27-7, and then last start 72-14 against a very weak Utah Tech team. But again, this is what this offense can do, drop 72 points. They are that good. Kansas, they dropped 48 points in their opening win against Lindenwood, so I'm expecting that offensively from them. And then when you keep in mind that this is a UNLV team, that when they step it up in class, they're known of giving up points. Look at what happened last year. When they faced Fresno State, they gave up 31 points. San Jose State, 37 points. Boise State, 44 points, right? So this is a Kansas team that has the ability that can score points as good as anybody in the country. And when you look at the numbers, last year when UNLV was on the road, their games went over in 5 of the 7 games. Meanwhile, only 2 of Kansas's home games last year finished lower than this 57.5 point total. As a result, I think we're going to get a shootout in this one. Friday Night Lights, no other games are on. These boys know the attention is going to be on them. I'm not overthinking it. Look at the numbers for both of these teams offensively. They can score it. Give me the over 57.5. And that Holiday Bowl game last year, the total was 64 and they still flew over that. And now we're literally getting a touchdown better odds, and we literally have some of the very similar players here on both sides and coaching staff. I like that here. Give me over 57.5 as our final pick of the day. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. 3 best bets, 3 winners that I'm giving you guys on this Friday card. Give me in the WNBA, the Atlanta Dream -3.5, or just wait to snag them live because I'm guarantee you're going to be able to get them on the money line or at plus money, whatever the case may be. You're going to be also be able to lock in the Yankees on the money line if you want to wait to see if you can get when the Red Sox are at bat at the top of the inning or something to maybe see if you can get it cheaper, be my guess, but I'm willing to lay the juice there. And then in terms of laying points, I'm willing to see that happen in the Kansas and UNLV matchup. Give me the over 57.5 as our third and final best bet of the day. Tomorrow we'll be back as always with a Blitz Saturday where I'll be going through a few quick winners for you guys. We will be live, boots on ground at the University of South Carolina, and so be on the lookout for that video, my friends. Let's get to that cheddar, and if you're going to be in the stadium, let me know, man. I'd love to connect with you guys. We're going to be hitting a few different venues throughout the fall, so I'd love to see you guys here in SEC country. So let's get after that cheddar today, and as always, dictate your fate, and I'll see you on tomorrow's video. Later, guys.